Let's be honest, you guys. Nobody wants a jelly-back, wishy-washy leader who acts like a wimp. The people, you, anyone that you are leading is looking for a leader who is intentional, a leader who is strong, a leader who is skillful. You guys, welcome to Leadership for Beginners. This is the podcast where we help new and aspiring leaders lead with clarity and build winning teams. Let's get into this episode because it's about to be good. An intentional leader is a person who has thought about the journey ahead of time. This is the person who is not half-stepping it. They're not trying to figure it out on the go. They're not winging it. But this is a person who have put in the work. They have put in the necessary work to make sure that the individuals that they are leading are being led well. Right? Half of the battle when you are leading in a new role is really feeling confident. That's having the assurance that the job that you have been given, the role, the responsibility, the task that you have been given, you know that you can do it without a doubt. When we think of confidence, we have a tendency of just going surface level. We think, oh, I got this. We brush off our shoulders. We feel amazing. But I really want to delve a little bit deeper because I really want to talk about the preparation that gives you that surface level type of feeling. It is the things that you do prior to that role or the things that you do once you get into that role immediately that really sets you up to have that confidence. There is a level of confidence that you have coming into your new position, but there's also a level of confidence that you have to develop as you walk out that position. So when you get into a new role, it is very common to ask yourself questions like, do I have enough experience? Am I ready for this? Did I ask enough questions? And my answer to you really is that yes. You are ready for this. You're here because you are ready for this, right? But the questions you ask now are really going to shape your future as a leader and really going to develop that confidence that you really need to lead well. But not just like this company, but any company that you go to, right? Not just this moment, but for the future endeavors that you have for your leadership journey. So it's important to have like this sense of self. This sense of self is like this confidence, this feeling that you are called, right? I am called to leadership. You guys know my story. I feel like even though life experiences has brought me into the space of leadership and the sector of leadership, I also believe that I'm called to this space, right? And so there's this sense of that I'm called to this space. But that alone is not going to help you to be successful. Baby, I have made enough mistakes as a new leader in little under a decade, that I just know for a fact that it takes more than just I am called. No, you have to do the work to make sure that you are leading well. So what will make you succeed is your ability to let your ego go. Right? You just got to let that ego go, and you have to start asking some questions. When you get into your role as a new leader, your role and your responsibilities is completely different from the expectation that is being given by the company, by those that are around you, and by the CEO, right? There's a difference between role, responsibility, and expectations. So a lot of failures happen within the first few months, and it happens within the first few months because it's a new role. You are meeting people. You are trying to create a leadership identity. You are trying to figure everything out. And so you are going to make some mistakes. But the majority of the mistakes don't just happen because you're trying to figure it out. There are two reasons why you may see a lot of mistakes or a lot of failure happen, in the sense that it's not just mistakes, but you fail at the job, or you end up quitting, or you end up, getting fired. It's one, because you probably misunderstood the assignment. You either misunderstood the assignment, or two, you fail to have the flexibility to adapt to this new role and the new expectation that is being asked of you. So it is so important that when you get into your new role, that you find some time to sit down with your leader, whoever your supervisor is, whoever your CEO is, whoever the business owner is, whoever is above you, whoever hired you and said, listen, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. You need to find some time to sit down with them and say, listen, I know that this is my role. I know that this is my responsibility, but what are you expecting? What does the team need? What are you expecting from me? How do you communicate? When do you want me to speak to you? How do you want me to lead this team? Is there anything in the past that have been done that you did not like, or that you do like? And how do you want me to shape the culture, or even continue the culture that's already been established? This is the key to your confidence level, you guys. It's not just the feeling. It's not just I feel good, I got the experience, I'm called to be a leader, I got this, yes, I'm bad to the bone. It's about what is expected of you. Because if you miss this key, you are going to end up failing. And what we don't want you to do as a new leader is fail, because you got so much in you. You were created to be in this place, right? And we want to make sure that you thrive at every single level. So what are you doing when you come into this new job? What are you doing when you get into this new role? You are sitting down with those that is above you, and you're trying to figure out what the expectation is. But listen, don't just do the vertical relationship type of thing, okay? You got to do that horizontal connection. You have to sit down with your team as well, and you have to ask them, what is the expectation that they have from you as a leader? Because we don't know we don't know who the leader was before. And we don't know what kind of relationship that they had before. And so it's so important that as you're coming in as a new leader, you want to also get their expectation. How do they communicate? How do they connect? How do they feel about you? All of that. That is so important, to just be upfront with them about the things that they may need from you, right? So that's very important. So if you miss that, you're going to miss the mark. You're going to miss the mark. If you don't develop those vertical and those horizontal relationships quickly and ask them their expectation, you are going to miss the mark. How do I know this? Listen, I worked with this company for a little bit. And there was this leader who had came in. There we had a supervisor who had to go on a personal leave. And this individual came in and she took over as the supervisor. And when she came in, she immediately came in with this attitude like she just was going to change everything. Ooh, y'all, she came in and immediately within days, okay, she didn't even learn about the culture. She didn't even take time to learn about the people. I don't even know if she even took time to sit down with those with those individuals who were above her. Because when she came in, she started firing people. People just got so upset with her attitude and her personality that they quit. She started to change so many different things around. She started to change morning meeting time. She started to change who was doing what. She was leaning on certain individuals but neglecting others. She was giving gifts to other individuals in front of everyone but neglecting to give gifts to others. She was choosing favorites. I mean, she was in there like just making a mess. In the beginning, we were like, oh my God, it's going to be so great to get someone who's refreshing, only to get to the end and be like, this chick needs to go. We were like, somebody get her out the door. Because we were confused at the fact that she came into the organization not asking our expectation or asking the expectation of the leaders who have went before her, but really kind of coming in with her ego as if she knew the job, as if she already had it in place, that she was just going to make her stamp on the culture, on the people, and leave that stamp right there, right? all it did was backfire on her. She ended up being let go a little bit earlier than her contract had intended for her to, because the people was complaining so much that could not work with her. There was just a distaste for her attitude and who she is as an individual. And so it's so important. I say that example, or I give that example, because it's so important that as a new leader, you don't go in with your own agenda. You go in with the agenda of figuring out what were you called to do. This girl was only called to hold down the fort for a couple months until the supervisor come back. And when the supervisor came back, y'all, she had a whole lot of mess she had to clean up. She had staff she had to try to hire. She had a lot of mending to do when it came to the staff. And it's unnecessary. When someone has brought you into their company, they're not asking you to come in and ruin it, mess it up, stomp on it. They have worked hard to get here. They have worked hard to build that business. They have worked hard to create a culture that is healthy. And the last thing you want to do as a new leader is come in with your ego and mess that up. So it's so important that if you're going to build your confidence level in your leadership role, it is not just about your experiences. It's not just about where you're coming from and this promotion that you have gotten, but it's about meeting the need of the people. It's about meeting the need and the expectation of the company that has brought you in. You can worry about all the other stuff later on. If you want to add in different things, if you want to change things up, do that after you have figured out what the need is and what the expectation is. Otherwise, y'all, you're going to get fired or you're going to quit. And that we don't want you to do. So listen, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this episode. I hope this helps you guys a little bit on your journey in building your confidence as a new leader. And I hope that I see you next time. Deuces.